So there's no time, there's no logic, there's movement, no contradiction, there's no logic in the unconsciousness, right? And the idealistic ego, right? We can say that here is the issue of the road, right? The road. Here is the jurisdiction of the will, the pure will, the instinct. And here of the reason, right? Reason. The ideal ego, that is the rule. Should I do this? Shall I do this? Where are the origin of the rules that inside my head that I follow? The rules that I follow and that are inside my head, the origin of these rules. And Freud will say, the father, the will, the id, that is the wild side. Here we will have the mother, right? So, father, mother. So, this is how the rule is introjected inside the person in the childhood. So Freud will say that the boy wants the mother because here is the pleasure principle, and the father for the little boy, it's a kind of opponent because it's an impediment to the will, that is have the mother that works with the pleasure, right? And what is important we think concerning this topology and this dynamic of the psychological structure thinked by Freud is the question of determinism. And here we come back to the beginning of the modernity with Hobbes, because Thomas Hobbes will say that the subject is not only self-interested, right? So in Freud, this will be the instinct of self-preservation, of survive. But in Thomas Hobbes, also the subject works with the reason and are commanded by the passions because there is a determinism, right? So here we have the instinct that is always constant inside the subject, that will pass to the superego, ideal ego of the subject to check if it's possible, and the result will be the reason working with the ego in an equation among the passions and the reason. The rules, the reason, are doing a judgment of consequence. So there is a determinism that an idea that is in the unconscious side will guide an idea and consequently an action that are in the consciousness side. So we are guided by something that we don't know. We don't have access directly, right? And there's a determinism. The unconsciousness determining the consciousness. And when Freud say about the free association of ideas in the treatment, we need to think that this free association do not exclude the determinism, because this free association is thinking in a way that whom dream will in a first place, in a first person, say about the dream. This is why is free will, is whom dream saying about the own dream, about what happens in the unconsciousness, in the deep psychology of the will, right? And the determinism is what remains as a connection of cause and effect, being the cause the unconsciousness and the effects what is in the conscious mind, and our actions are guided by motives that are unconscious. So this is a very big problem to be solved by the Western philosophy. And if we remember Thomas Hobbes, coming back to the beginning of the modernity, we will remember that the causality is on the person see what happens after something, and the persons are seeing this and conclude that there's a necessary relation. So Thomas Hobbes, in the beginning of the modernity, will face the issue among liberty and necessity, right? And necessity is how the physical world, the natural world works in the philosophy of Thomas Hobbes. So this determinism also exists in the Freudian theory, right? But here we have a new thing, that is our actions are guided by motives that are unconscious, that we cannot see, right?